Hello everyone. So we shall be discussing the first chapter, that is fundamentals of logic. So here in this particular module we'll be going into detail its deep discussion on propositions, what is this particular subject deals with, along with different kinds of laws of logic, and we shall be solving certain problems related to logic. So I am Professor Archana Priyadarshini, Department of ISC, CEC. So I'll be introducing all the contents listed in the index in the following module.
Let's see in this presentation the concept of tautology, contradiction, and contingency, along with the problems related to all these topics, and lastly, we'll cover logical equivalences along with problems.
So first let's start with the tautology, contradictions and contingency. So what are these terms? What are they telling us? So first, when I talk about tautology, about compound proposition, right? So compound proposition is what? It's not just a simple proposition like rose is red in color. No. If I say the statement rose is red in color, it means it is a simple kind of proposition, right? It is not having any connectors, logical connectors. Whereas if I say a statement called rose is red in color and John walks to the park. So this is like there is a use of another connective called and that joins those two simple propositions. And this entire proposition, the new proposition which is formed just by connecting the two simple propositions by using the logical connector, is called compound proposition. So why I am saying this compound proposition once again definition is because the tautology, contradiction and contingency makes use of this compound propositions. That is, it is formed by using two or more propositions together. So, a tautology, let me define tautology. Tautology is nothing but a compound proposition which is true for all possible truth values of its components. So, whenever we take two or more propositions, combine them, we get the final value, right, in terms of binary forms, is it not? Yes, we get it in binary forms, true or false, right? So, if we get all the values for all the rows as 1, then it is called as a tautology. Now just moving into the opposite of tautology, that is contradiction. When we get all the rows in the truth table irrespective of the components, irrespective of the different possible combinations of the propositions, if we get all the values for all the rows as 0, then it is a contradiction. So I repeat the definition of contradiction. A compound proposition which is false for all the possible truth values of its components is called contradiction. Okay. So next we move to contingency. Contingency is neither a tautology nor a contradiction. That is, you may have 0 and 1 together or together. So a compound proposition that can be true or false depending upon the truth values of its components is called contingency. So let's see a problem related to tautology, contradiction and contingency. So here we are supposed to show that for any two propositions P and Q, the first one P XOR Q, it is the symbol is XOR, just observe it. P XOR Q or P biconditional Q is a tautology. This is the first question. And the second question is P XOR Q and P biconditional Q is a contradiction. So I'll be explaining the first and second simultaneously. So first we have given a truth table here. Here we observe there are only two kinds of propositions, P and Q. So first draw the columns for P and Q. Write all possible combinations of P and Q. So since we have got two propositions, the number of rows for these two propositions are 2 square, that is 4. So 4 rows are constructed corresponding to two columns P and Q. Then further construct further columns, that is P and Q. So since it is, you can do that for actually this table. Instead of P and Q, you can write P XOR Q directly. You can construct P XOR Q. Okay, after constructing the two columns P and Q, you can directly write P XOR Q. In P XOR Q, how does this P XOR Q work? P XOR Q is either when either P is true or Q is true, the value is true. Okay, so you can observe in the second and third row we have Q is true, so that time P XOR Q will be true, and in the third row P is true, Q is false, so P XOR Q is true. So that is when either P is true or Q is true, the value XOR turns to be true. Next, coming to biconditional. So in biconditional, you are the result is true when both P and Q are false, or when both P and Q are true. Okay, the result will be true. Just the opposite of XOR. So when we consider P XOR Q or P biconditional Q, when we construct this P XOR Q or P biconditional Q, we can observe that it is an OR connective. So since both are just opposite of the truth values, we get the entire value of the result for the first sub question as true, right? We get all the values as 1 1 1 1, and therefore it is a tautology. Next, coming to the second sub question, wherein just we have the change conjunction instead of disjunction compared to the first question. Since I have already told P XOR Q truth values are just the opposite of P biconditional Q. Since it is just opposite, the conjunction will lead you to all zeros because not both of them will be on at the same time. So we get all of them as false. Therefore, the conjunction leads to 0 0 0 in all the rows of the proposition. Therefore, it is a contradiction. And what about contingency? See, we have got P XOR Q. We have already constructed for P XOR Q. Now, we have to do for P conditional Q. So, P conditional Q is false only when P is true and Q is false. Observe the third row. The third row, P is true, Q is false. So, P conditional Q will be false. So, now we have to compare P XOR Q column along with P implies Q column, and then we have to find the conjunction of both of these columns. So when we find the conjunction of both the columns, we observe that some of the rows are 0, some of the rows are 1s. That is, first row we will get 0, second row the conjunction leads to 1, third row conjunction leads to 0, fourth row conjunction leads to 0. So there are combinations of zeros and ones in the truth table. Therefore, it is a contingency. It is neither a tautology nor a contradiction. So next, moving to assignment 1.2. Here we need to construct a truth table first of all based on the given question. So here we have got two propositions P and Q. Construct two columns first, P and Q. Write all possible combination of truth values, and then you need to prove that the final compound proposition values are not dependent on the combinations, possible combinations like 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. So whatever may be these values, the entire result of the entire compound proposition is either true or it's either false, like that. So in that way, it is independent of the truth values of their opponents. So similar problems I've already discussed in the videos that I've given to you. So you can check out that and then solve this kind of similar problems. The next moving to logical equivalence. So what is logical equivalence? Logical equivalent means both whatever propositions that we are comparing with the other propositions, both of them have the same truth values or identical truth values. So let us say we have got two propositions u and v. So two propositions u and v, they are said to be logically equivalent whenever u and v have the same truth values. So or equivalently we can say that the biconditional of u and v is a tautology. Just remember this. So we can have both of them having the same truth values, or we can prove that the biconditional, that is u biconditional v, is a tautology. So either of the two ways we can have the logical equivalence. And two propositions, whenever they are said to be logically equivalent, the first point resembles the symbol, that is u logical equivalent to v. We have got double sided arrow, but it is not biconditional, it is equal sign followed by arrows in both sides. So we have a problem here. So let's see that Cx is a specified integer, positive integer. Now we have got two propositions over here, P and Q. The first proposition stating x is an odd integer, and second proposition stating x is not divisible by 2. Do both the statements mean the same? You need to check it out before saying that they are logically equivalent, right? So we note that x is an odd integer. It is similar to saying that x is not divisible by 2, right? Any odd integer is not divisible by 2. So obviously since both the statements mean the same, both the propositions are same, both of them will have identical values, and so both p and q are logically equivalent, or p logically equivalent to q. I hope this kind of problem is very clear to you.
So let's take a particular problem in this logical equivalence. So for any two propositions, so given two propositions P and Q, are supposed to prove that P implies Q is logically equivalent to negation P or Q. So first of all, we'll construct a truth table. So in this truth table, let us design the rows for two propositions P and Q. So after writing all possible combinations for the given two propositions, for any two propositions you will have two square number of rows. So you are writing all possible combinations. Then you have to design the rows for P implies Q and negation P and negation P or Q. Write all possible proposition statements listed in this kind of question. So that is P implies Q, you have it in the question, negation P as well as negation P or Q. So P implies Q will be false only in the third row, that is 1 when proposition P is true and proposition Q is false. P implies Q is false, rest all will have true. And negation P is just the opposite of the truth values of P. So negation P will be 1 1 0 0, and similarly in the last column of negation P or Q, we are going to find the disjunction of negation P versus Q. And OR turns to be true when any one of the propositions are true. So you can observe in the following kind of question that we are supposed to draw the truth table, and then we are supposed to compare the left hand side with the right hand side and say that the both of them are logically equivalent. So you can see the truth table for P implies Q, negation P and negation P or Q below. So you can observe that P implies Q column is same as negation P or Q. Just observe the truth values. We have 1 1 0 1 in P implies Q column. Similarly for negation P or Q, we have the same truth value, that is 1 1 0 1. So we can say that both of them P implies Q is logically equivalent to negation P or Q. So if both the columns have the same identical values, then we can say that both of them are logically equivalent. So this is a particular problem under logical equivalence.
So now let's see another example problem in order to demonstrate logical equivalence. So given two statements, we are supposed to symbolize these statements and then find out what it represents, what this particular question represents. And after that, after symbolizing these statements, we need to construct a truth table and find out whether the truth table columns are identical. For example, here we have two statements, it will not rain or snow. And the next statement, that is, it will not rain and it will not snow. So are these two equivalent? So let's see. So first statement is it will not rain or snow. That means it is not going to rain as well as it is not going to snow. This is what it means. It will not rain or snow. That means we do not have rain as well as we do not have snow. So how can we write this particular statement as? So let's say I have proposition P representing it will rain. So always propositions P, it's better to write it in positive sense, positive terms. So let me denote proposition P as it will rain and proposition Q as it will snow. So now what does the first statement say? How does it symbolize? The first statement could be written as it will not. That means you are negating the first proposition. Negation of P or Q. It will not rain as well as it will not snow. That means it is not going to rain as well as it is not going to snow. That will be the first kind of statement. So the first statement is written as negation of P or Q. Did you get it? So it is negation of P or Q. That means it is not going to. Here the definition is given as it will not. Not is the connective which connects both rain as well as snow. So not of rain or snow. You can observe how the statement is written. So it is given as negation of P or Q. And coming to the next statement, it will not rain and it will not snow. So how could we write this in symbols? It is negation P. So as I've already told, proposition P is it will rain and proposition Q is it will snow. So how do we write the second statement? It is not. That means negation P and is the conjunction given here, and you know the conjunction symbol, right? And negation Q. So now we are supposed to prove that these two symbolized statements have the identical values. So how could we prove that? Let's check out the truth table. So first design the possible rows for the given two propositions. So here we have got two propositions, right? So proposition P and proposition Q. Write down how many values, all possible values. Since we have got two propositions, it is 2 square or 4 rows. Write down the 4 possible combinations first. Then we have to write the different kind of proposition here, P or Q. Next we can consider for negation of P or Q, and then finally negation P and then negation Q and then conjunction of both of them. So since you know how do we construct a truth table, I am just telling you in terms of words. So what will be P or Q? It is a disjunction. So disjunction is true only when either P is true or Q is true or both of them are true. You can observe that the truth table column corresponding to P or Q has values 0 only in the first row, and rest all it is the having truth value as 1. So next, coming to the next column, negation of P or Q. That means you are negating this previous column. So 0 is turned to 1, 1 is turned to 0. So I hope this is clear. In the following column we have to write what is negation P. So negation P means you are negating whether it is false, you are turning it to true. If it is true, you are turning it to false. So 0 is turned to 1 and 1 is turned to 0. The same applies to negation Q. And finally in the last column you are finding the conjunction of the previous two columns, negation P and negation Q. So you have got 1 in the only in the first row, whereas we have got zeros in the last 3 rows. So now let's compare negation of P or Q with negation P and negation Q. So do they resemble the same? Yes, only the first row has, you see, you can observe this column. You are going to compare with the last column. So you can observe both columns have the same identical values. So it's clear that it is logically equivalent, right? So we can conclude that the two statements, it will not rain or snow, as well as it will not rain and it will not snow, are logically equivalent. So the main thing here is you need to write it in symbolic terms, and then you can easily construct the truth table, check out the values and conclude that it is logically equivalent. So here given a particular assignment, here it contains two questions. So in the first question is similar to saying that we need to prove that whether the first component, that is P or Q, implies R, whether it is logically equivalent to negation R implies negation of P or Q. So we can either construct a truth table, because it is not given in the question whether as to we have to construct a truth table or we have to use any rules or laws. So if it is not given, you can construct a truth table. So in the first question, please construct a truth table and verify that P or Q implies R have the same values as negation R implies negation of P or Q. So once both the columns have the same values, we can prove that they are logically equivalent, and therefore both the columns are biconditional. We have it as a tautology. So proving that both the components are logically equivalent is equal to saying that they are biconditional is a tautology. So now coming to the next question, in the second question, again it is asked to construct a truth table and verify their logical equivalence. So first construct 3 columns for PQR and then construct the remaining columns corresponding to the question. So there are additional components like negation Q, negation P. Construct the columns for the same, and then you can construct for negation Q and R, then Q and R, P and R, and finally Q and R or P and R will be the next column, and last we will have the disjunction of both the right hand side as well as the left, disjunction of both negation P and negation Q and R, or Q and R or P and R. So this will be the last column. So verifying the last column with the third column, that is R, and checking whether both the columns are same or identical. So once both the columns are same, you are saying that they are logically equivalent. So let's see how certain symbols can be written in terms of statements, and also the vice versa. That is, given 2 propositions or 3 propositions, knowing the fact what actually each of the propositions mean, we are supposed to write it in terms of symbols. So I'll tell you in both ways how could the statements be written symbolically, as well as how could the symbolical notation be turned to statements. So let's take 2 propositions. So the first proposition P tells us that Alice is smart, and second proposition Q says Alice is honest. So if I want to say that Alice is smart and honest, so it means that Alice is both smart as well as Alice is honest. So it is making use of the word or the term and. So you have proposition P conjunction Q. So if I say Alice is smart and honest, or Alice is smart but honest, they both mean the same. So we can write this in terms of symbols as P conjunction Q. So let's take further two symbols and let us see how it can be transformed into statements. So I have here negation P, conjunction Q. So we have to negate the proposition P. What does P states? P states that Alice is smart. But how would negation P be turned into statements? So you're just negating that particular statement. That is, if I want to say it is a beautiful day, I negate it to it is not a beautiful day. So in that way we can have the negation of that particular statement. So here negation P is Alice is not smart. I am using the connective not. Alice is not smart. I can also write Alice is not smart and uh, and Alice is honest. But if I write Alice is not smart and honest, it means that Alice is not smart as well as Alice is not honest. Got it right? So if I want to say Alice is both Alice is both smart and honest, I could write it as P and Q or P conjunction Q. But here you can observe it is saying that Alice is not smart and Alice is honest. So these both are just opposite of the statements. One is giving a positive sense, the other is giving a negative sense. So if I just use the statement Alice is not smart and honest, it is difficult to interpret as well as it turns the meaning of the statement. What does Alice is not smart and honest mean? It means that Alice is not even smart as well as he is not honest. So we have to write it in terms of a positive sense, right? In the Q proposition has to be written in the positive sense. How it could be written as? Just observe negation P and Q. So here it could be written as Alice is not smart but honest. So you can observe the second portion but honest gives a positive sense and it is same as proposition Q. Correct? So let's see another symbol. So we have P implies negation Q. So whenever we have got implication, so you know that what are the terms that has to be used and you know what are the synonyms, which and all are the synonyms of implication, right? So you have got several ways of expressing this implication. So how one common method of expressing this implication is you can start with a if and then in the middle you can have a then, right? So here I can write this P implies negation Q as if Alice is smart, then Alice is not honest. So I could write Alice twice, but you can avoid that. You can just write she instead of Alice. Got it? So the symbol P implies negation Q means that you should observe the connective first. Whatever connective is there in the question, you have to observe and you should interpret how it could be written as. So since we have got implication, we are using the terms if and then. So once you decide this, then you can turn these words into complete statements. That is, if Alice is smart, then she is not honest. So this is the way of expressing this particular symbol. I hope all these things are clear to you. So in this particular slide, let's see how to translate certain statements into its symbols. So knowing all the logical connectives and its meaning, we need to understand the statements given in a particular manner and then transform it into symbols using connectives. So let's see the first question. Either Alice is smart or honest, but Alice is not honest if she is smart. So just observe the statement in parts. So either Alice is smart or honest. That means Alice is either smart or Alice is either honest, but he is not both of them. So we can say that it is a kind of exclusive disjunction. So you know the symbol for exclusive disjunction, write it in the same way. So in the previous slide we have seen proposition P states Alice is smart and proposition Q states Alice is honest, right? So using those terms, let's turn this statement either Alice is smart or honest to symbols. So how could this be written as? We can write it as P XOR Q. Correct? So next, continuing the statement, we have but Alice is not honest if she is smart. So in other words, I can say that if she is smart, then he is not honest. Is it not? This means the same as per the question. So how could we write this as? You know that proposition P states Alice is smart, right? So can we transform the second half? That is, if she is smart, then he is not honest. So how could this be written as? This could be written as P implies negation Q, right? You know Q proposition states Alice is honest, correct? So we can transform this second half into P implies negation Q. So totally we can say that P XOR Q and P implies negation Q, correct? So following the next question, so we have got that Alice is smart is necessary and sufficient for Alice to be honest. So you can observe the two propositions stated are as it is in the question, second question. Alice is smart as well as Alice is honest. It is same as it is. But in the middle you have got necessary and sufficient. So necessary and sufficient term is used only for biconditional. So it will be the second question solution will be Alice is smart, that is proposition P. Is necessary and sufficient, we can transform it into biconditional. So you know biconditional operator, just write that Alice is honest. So it is P biconditional Q. So let's see the solution. First one we have told it is P XOR Q and if she is smart, P implies negation Q, correct? And for the second question, it is we have told P biconditional Q. So you should know how each symbol synonyms. You know this. You should know the symbols synonyms as well as its way of representation. Only then it will be easier for you to transform any statement into its symbols.
So now we are solving the problem based on tautology and contradictions. You know what is tautology? You know what is contradiction, right? So tautology means all the truth values are 1 irrespective of the components, individual components values. The contradiction is just the opposite of tautology. Instead of 1, we have got all rows as zeros irrespective of the truth values of the components. So now the question is, we need to prove for any proposition P that the compound proposition P or negation P is a tautology and the compound proposition P and negation P is a contradiction. So let's design the truth table for it. So based on the truth table, we can decide what will be the values for the final result. So let's take P, and since we have the question given negation P, I'll be taking it as a separate column. So P can have 0 or 1, right? Either true or false. The compound proposition may be true or false. So you are negating that proposition, negation P, just the opposite, right? What will be P or negation P? Or turns to be true when any one of them are true, right? So this entire proposition has got all the truth values 1 irrespective of the components, whether it is 0 or whether it is 1, you have the truth value as 1 overall. So therefore it is a tautology. That is what we have proved for the first question. Next, we need to check out for P and negation P. What is the conjunction of P and negation P? It is 0. Similarly,
we have got 0. Therefore, P and negation P has got all zeros irrespective of the truth values of the components, and therefore it is a contradiction. I think this is clear to you. Coming to the next question, we need to show that the truth values of the following compound proposition are independent of the truth values of the components. That means the truth value of the compound proposition, they are not dependent upon whether the compound proposition is true or false. If the compound proposition is true, the result also need not behave like this one only. It can be 0, or it can be 1 only. And if the proposition is 0, the result, if it was 1, it will be 1, or if it is 0, it will be 0 only. It won't change from 0 to 1 or 1 to 0 and so on. If it is true, it will be true always. If it is false, it will be false always, irrespective of whether the proposition is 1 or 0. That is what is meant by independent of the truth values of the components. So these are the components. So based on these components, it will calculate the truth values for the compound proposition, and if it remains the same, whether it is 1 or whether it is 0, irrespective of the change in the values of the components, it means that it is independent of the truth value of the components. I think this definition is clear to you. So based on this, the problem is stated as, we have P implies Q, biconditional negation P or Q. So this biconditional is the main connective. So let's design the truth table for this. For P and Q, we have got two propositions here. We have two propositions, we have different combinations. It can be 0, 1, it can be 1 or 0, or 1, 1. And what will be negation P? See, you need to design for each and every different components over here. Negation P is one component. You are changing the truth values. If it is 0, it is turned to false. If it is true, if it is 0, it will be turned to true. If it is false, it will be turned to, if it is 0, it will be turned to true, right? Or if it is true, it will be turned to false, like this. 1 will be changed to 0, 0 will be changed to 1. And what will be negation P or Q? Negation P or Q. So this is different. So what is P implies Q? What is P implies Q? P implies Q. You can observe only for this particular row we have 0, for others it is 1. And what will be the final result of P implies Q by conditional negation P or Q? That is this first one by conditional second one, right? P implies Q by conditional negation P or Q. That is what we are writing over here. So what will be the implication? We have got all truth values as 1 only, irrespective of these change in the combinations, right? Therefore, we can say the truth values of the compound propositions are independent of the truth values of the components. So you can observe all are 1, irrespective of these 0, 0, 1 different combinations. And we also see that it is a tautology, right? Coming to the next question, we need to prove that for any proposition P, Q, R. So here we are basically having 3 propositions here, compound propositions, 3 propositions or 3 primitives, and we need to prove that the for any propositions P, Q, R here given, the compound, this entire compound proposition has got truth value 1. That is what is meant by tautology, right? So we can design the truth table. So here we are having 3 primitives. 3 primitives means how many combinations? 2 raised to 3. 8 rows. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0. and 1 1 1. So now we need to design the different combinations given here. P implies Q, Q implies R. So see that you draw the rows, columns, and because it's a truth table, right? So P implies Q, Q implies R, and P implies R. This is what is asked. So what is P implies Q here? For all we have got 1. Only for these two rows we have got zeros. What about Q implies R? This row we have got 0. This rest everything and input for this we have got 0. What about for P implies R? 0 implies 0 will be 1. 0 implies 1 will be 1. 0 implies 0 will be 1. 0 implies 1 is 1. 1 implies 0 is 0. Except that we can take everything as 1. 1 implies 0 is 0. If you just remember the implication table, then it is very easy for you to draw or design the truth table. So now let's combine these two. These two are combined using AND connective, and then we have implication, this one. Can I consider this? So I will be considering this as 1, this is as 2. So 1 and 2 implies 3. What will be the result? That is what? This is 3. Let me take this as third. This is the first one, second one, and this is third one. I am numbering them. So first one and second one, the whole implies third one. What will be the result of implication over this? So before doing that, let me first design the conjunction of these two. What is 1 and 2? 1 and 2, and it is 1, right? 1 and 1 is 1, 1 and 1 is 1, 1 and 0 is 0, 1 and 1 is 1, 0 and 1 is 0, 0 and 1 is 0, right? So the conjunction of these two, that is this one, is designed in this particular column. Now we need to, now let me take this as 3, correct? And this P implies R, let me change it to 4. So what will be now? 3 implies 4. What will be the result of 3 implies 4? We have one implication, right? This implies 1 implies 1. 1 implies 1. 0 implies 1. 1 implies 1. 0 implies 0. 0 implies 1. So you can observe this implies this entire column will have all truth values as 1. You can observe 0 implies 0 is 0. 0 implies 1 is 1. 0 implies 0 is 1. 0 implies 0 is again 1. 1 implies 1 is 1. 0 implies 1 is 1. Right? So everything we have got 1 itself. Right? So that means this entire compound proposition has got truth values 1. Or in other words, it is a tautology. That is what we have to prove. Prove that the compound proposition is a tautology. I think this is clear to you. So here let's take a particular problem. We are supposed to prove that the left hand side biconditional, you can observe this is a biconditional. Biconditional, the right hand side is a tautology. So this is equivalent to saying that you need to prove left hand side is logically equivalent to the right hand side. So logically equivalent is this symbol and biconditional is just this symbol. You know it, right? So first they have asked you to prove that this is a tautology, biconditional is a tautology, or else you can prove that this is logically equivalent to this just by having a truth table. So you can observe there are how many primitives here? There are over 3 primitives or 3 kinds of propositions. So you need to construct the truth table representing the values. So first of all, let's write the 3 propositions, right? All possible combinations for the 3 propositions. 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0. So less 1, 1, 1. So So after constructing the all possible combinations for the three primitives or propositions, next write down what is asked in the question. For example, this is one component. So you need to construct the truth table corresponding to the column with respect to P implies Q. After that, you have another bigger propositions. Next we have another component, right? Negation P or Q. So before that, I'll construct a column separately for negation P, and then I have the negation P or Q column, and finally negation P or Q implies R. Now we are supposed to check this column with this column. We need to check whether these two are the same, whether both have identical values. So if both the columns have identical values, then we are saying that the biconditional of these two is a tautology as per the question. Is it clear? Okay, so let's construct the column corresponding to P implies Q. So implication is false only when P is true and Q is false, right? Rest all we have got true. So 0, 0 is 1. Just observe only this column. We need to construct P implies Q column. So consider only these two columns and find out. 0 implies 1 is what? 1. 0 implies 1 is 1. 1 implies 0 is 0. And rest all we have got 1. So next we need to find out this column implies this. So you need to take only these two columns. So this implies this. This implies this. So it's 1 implies 0. What is 1 implies 0? 0. 1 implies 1. Only for 1 implies 0 we have got 0. Rest all we have got 1. So this is an important column. Just we need this for matching. Next comes negation P. So we need to negate all these values. So whenever P has got 0, it turns out to be 1. So we have got 1 in the 4 rows. Similarly, zeros in the next 4 rows. Next we are designing for negation P or Q. Negation P or Q. How is this negation P? This is the column corresponding to negation P versus Q. So you need to take these two columns and find the disjunction of these two. So disjunction is true whenever any one of them is true, or if both of them also are true, right? So 0 or 1 is 1. Similarly 0 or 1 is 1. 1 or 1 is 1. Then we have got zeros. 0 or 0 is 0. 1 or 0 is 1. Similarly 1 or 0 is 1. Next, this column implies this column. We need to find the implication of this column versus this column. See, I am just marking just for only for my reference. You need not mark this. So I need to match this column first with this one. So I need to find the implication of 1 implies 0, 1 implies 1. What is 1 implies 0? 1 implies 0 is 0. 1 implies 1 is 1. Correct? 1 implies 0 again is 0. 1 implies 1 is 1. 0 implies 0 is 1. 0 implies 1 is 1. 1 implies 0 is 0. 1 implies 1 is 1. You can just check. So which columns we are supposed to check now? We are supposed to check this column, this entire column with this column. Just observe these values: 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1. Right? All these columns, this column has identical values as that of this column. So we can say P implies Q implies R is logically equivalent to, I am using this symbol, negation P or Q implies R. We can write it in this manner also, or, and this is somewhat, this is same as proving that this biconditional, this one, it is P implies Q implies R, biconditional negation P or Q implies R is a tautology. So I hope the way of constructing the truth table along with the reasoning kind of discussion is clear to you. So this is a particular problem under logical equivalence. So next we shall see the next problem. It is, we are supposed to prove that for any three propositions P, Q, R, P implies Q and R is logically equivalent to P implies Q and P implies R. So this is somewhat similar to the previous problem. In the previous problem we had got three primitives or three propositions. We are supposed to prove that it is a tautology, which is equivalent to saying that both of them are logically equivalent. Here they are directly given. We need to prove that they are logically equivalent. So first of all, what we need to do? We need to construct the truth table corresponding to the three propositions. Write all possible combinations for the three propositions and then construct the truth table. It is, we have got 0 0 0 0 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 1 0 0 sorry 1 0 1 and 1 1 0. So after writing all the 8 rows, I think I must after writing all the 8 rows, since there are 3 primitives, there are 8 rows, that is 2 cube, So next, write down individual components. Like for example, I need to find out what is Q and R. Only after finding this, I can find what is P implies Q and R. After that, what is P implies Q? What is P implies R? And what is the conjunction of P implies Q and P implies R? Correct? What columns we need to match? This column with the last column. So now find out what is Q and R. You know that and or the conjunction is true only when both of them are true. So you need to match these two columns. Now we need to write for P implies Q and R. That is this column with this column. This 0 implies 0. What is 0 implies 0? 1. What is 0 implies 0? Again 1. What is 0 implies 1? It's again 1. What is 1 implies 0? It is 0. Now next we need to do for P implies Q. Once again, 0 implies 0 is 1. 0 implies 0 is 1. 0 implies 1 is 1. 1 implies 0 is 0. Next for P implies R. First column with the third column. P implies R. That is 0 implies 0 is 1 once again. 0 implies 1 is 1. 0 implies 0 is also 1. 0 implies 1 is 1. 1 implies 0 is 0. 1 implies 0 is 0 and then 1. So next find the conjunction of these two columns. So now start comparing this column with this column. We have got first 4 ones. Same here, we have got first 4 ones. Next 3 zeros, 3 zeros and finally 1. So correct? So we can say that P implies Q and R, they are logically equivalent to P implies Q and P implies R. Correct? That is what we have to prove as per the question. So this is a very most easiest problem. Just we need to draw the truth table and then apply the rules.